Check, check, check. Welcome to the Blind Justice channel live. Cruising down the street. You're such a dork. I like you. I'm a dork. I am a dork. True statement. Anybody in? Safety man, hey. Emerald City, what's up? Sound Minds. Ian, hey. Mr. Stino. Taz, what's up, buddy? Hey, Tim. Aloha. Freedom Flight, what's up? Hey, all right, we got people rolling in the chat. So, the title of this little live broadcast is Chris Freeman, Jag-Off? Still a Jag-Off? So, if you're not familiar with Jag, we gotta disconnect. We're good. Give me one if we're back. Yeah, bone connecting headsets are great. Hey, Pedro. Peanut nailed it. One. Okay, we're back. Yeah, Peanut nailed it. It's Judge Advocates General. It's the lawyers in the military. So this guy Chris Freeman is the judge in the district court in Rockingham County, North Carolina, that has my case of resisting an officer, which is not a case at all because they have no problem. This guy Chris Freeman used to be in the military as a Jag-Off. It's a Jag-Off. And to familiarize you, if you're not familiar with it, the Jag officers were attached or are attached to units in the military, and they work at the discretion of the commander. So they work for the commander. It's basically like a corporate lawyer, right? Their job is to protect the company, and they work for the CEO kind of relationship kind of deal. So that means they don't work for the soldiers. They don't work for the airmen, the corpsmen, the Marines. They don't work for the sailors. All right, that's not their primary job. Like, if there's any kind of disgruntled employees, right, the Jag-Off is not your friend, right? The corporate lawyer is not your friend. If you're a whistleblower in a corporation, whether it be government or private, the corporate lawyer is not your buddy, right? He works for the corporation that is screwing you, right? That you are trying to raise awareness of the malfeasance and the stuff that you need to correct. So that's the same thing with the JAG officers in the military. They work against the people. They work against the soldiers, airmen, corpsmen, people in the Corps, and Marines, what's the other, sailors, yeah. And that's who this guy, Chris Freeman, was, a Jag-Off in the military, and it seems like that's his position still. He's still doing this corporate lawyer thing from the bench, where he is not interested in, doesn't appear to be interested in justice and making sure there's justice served in Rockingham County District Court. But he is going to do, assumingly, this is all, we're presuming this is what's happening based on what's going on with this case. With him issuing threats against me if I show up with my assistive devices, my vision aids as a disabled person. And then we have some more veiled threats, which is the update I want to give you guys. So we did get news this morning that from my attorney that the DA continued the case to October 14th. So it's not going down tomorrow like we thought. They continued it to October 14th. So we're still putting in work to raise awareness of what's going on, that they're blocking me equal access to the courts, that they're threatening me with criminal contempt if I do show up to court with my devices. And then there's a new one. So we replied. I sent an email. I replied to Chris Freeman's ADA denial and his threat. I sent it to him, to my attorney, to the district attorney, Ramey. I forget what his first name is. It's Ramey out of Rockingham County. And to the state disability coordinator with the AOC, Administration of the Court, North Carolina, Lori Cole, and to Vicki Underwood, who is the one at the district court in Rockingham County, the disability coordinator. So all of them were CC'd on this email of me pointing out, line by line, how Chris Freeman is violating state and federal law, and his threats and intimidation and coercion is illegal. And then I make a second request for accommodation, another way for them to modify their policy or the way their procedures to allow me to appear in court telephonically or via video conferencing, which is happening all over the country. And so I made that second ADA request. Part of it was me pointing out his direct response to his threats and intimidation and his denial, which were improper and illegal according to state and federal law, and pointing that out for the record, but then also following that up with more suggestions to find a resolution for accommodation and modification, since he's not offering any. And I did that. Well, I hear back. I heard back earlier today from my attorney that Mr. Chris Freeman, again, it's this district court judge out of Rockingham County, called my attorney, my defense attorney, and he had a assistant DA on the line with him. And Mr. Chris Freeman was, it seemed like, because I'm getting it secondhand, it seems kind of like a veiled threat, that he mentioned the email I sent him and claimed that it was ex parte communication because he believed that that I only sent it to him and to my lawyer and to Lori Cole. Well, the other addressees were blind carbon copied, so they weren't all on the two line. They had blind carbon copies sent out to these other people. So the assistant district attorney should have checked that before, jumping on this conference call with the judge, and to let the judge know, well, you're full of shit. It's not actually true. But the judge is trying to say that I'm having ex parte communication with him by sending him an email that's administrative. So it has nothing to do with the case. It has nothing to do with, it's like if I emailed the judge and said, hey, can I get a glass of water when I go to court? It has nothing to do with my case, right? It has nothing to do with the arguments of the case, of any motions or anything like that. Nothing. I simply was saying, hey, I want to be able to have access to the courts, and if you're not denying me access in this way that's illegal, here's another way that you can do it through telephone or through video conferencing. So that's just procedural things with the administration of the court, nothing to do with the actual court case. So that's not ex parte, even if I only sent it to the judge, which I didn't. I sent it to both attorneys involved in the case. Yeah, exactly. They continue the case. Are they trying to give themselves more time to try to lock me up for something else? Yeah, possibly, right? Are they, and then right, that was what we suspected, right? That might be the case. And then we hear this phone call went down, where this judge is issuing some veiled threats, saying that this is some ex parte communication, which clearly it's not. One, it's an administrative request for a disability accommodation, which doesn't have to do with the case at all. And so I could have sent it to the judge just by himself, but I didn't. I sent it to the judge and to both attorneys involved, both for the defense and the prosecution. So clearly we don't have ex parte. But the other thing he did mention, Chris Freeman mentioned to my attorney, was that he was complaining about there being a video. Oh, there's a video on the internet, on social media, criticizing Chris Freeman, this judge, criticizing him. How dare there be a video criticizing this criminal for his criminal activities? this man who swore an oath both in the military and outside the military to uphold the Constitution, who's trampling it. Not only just trampling it, but is denying and threatening a disabled person. Not just a disabled person, but a disabled veteran. And he claims to, have served with honor and all this stuff, right? He has this stuff on his page, on his Facebook, and right, I'm sure part of his platform for running for his position. So this just kind of tells you the character, or lack of character that Chris Freeman has. And what time is it? 12 tomorrow? All right. All right, I think I disconnected. Maybe reconnected? Give me a 1, people. All right, 1, cool. Yeah, so I'm on my way to do a ear bug test. Been having some symptoms. We'll find out what the results are with that. But it takes a couple days. Anywho, do you want me to announce about your get together tomorrow? Yeah. All right. So, or how about this? How about if you're interested in helping out locally, like on the ground stuff, you can reach out to the email insightisfree@gmail.com, or you can message us on the Facebook page. It's Blind Justice on Facebook, and there's a couple of Facebook groups that we have for coordinating some local events, local activities for people to get together and support one another. So if you're interested in that, if you know somebody locally that would be interested, go ahead and send them our way. Shoot us an email. We do appreciate you guys' support, both for showing up here and commenting and getting my back when I'm out walking around and looking through my phone camera to help me find doors and signs and all that stuff. And we appreciate your messages, like when you guys just message and drop us a line and encourage us. We appreciate you guys doing what you can to redress the government. Anything that you see on this channel or other channels where there's gross miscarriages of justice and blatant disregard for freedom and the Constitution, there are different ways that you guys can do that, either via phone calls or emails. And if you're not close enough to, physically protest or something like that. So to James, appreciate you. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. That's the update we have. So far, the date was set for tomorrow, and it got continued to October 14th. But then in that phone call, the assistant district attorney claimed to not know anything about that continuance, and then at some point said that brings more questions. Well, why do they want it to be on a Friday? Well, if they enact their ambush, if they stick to this judge's order, we don't have it. We don't have him rescind the order or have some kind of injunction done to stop this judge and his criminal behavior. Then they plan on continuing with their ambush to hold me in criminal contempt and then arrest me. And it's better for them if it's on a Friday, because then they can take their time booking and all that stuff, and then wait until after the 5 p.m. thing. There's no more judges to be brought into, so they can hold me over the weekend and claim, oh, we can't take you in front of a judge, you got to pay us a ransom money to get out. And so if you're doing activism on a Friday, just be aware that it's a little more dangerous on a Friday than on any other day of the week, because if it's late in the day and there are no judges available for you to be brought in front of, you may spend a weekend in jail. Maybe squared. What's that? Yeah. So again, just a quick recap. The court date set for August 19th, which is tomorrow, has been continued to October 14th. And if you want to get involved, and if you know anybody locally that wants to get involved with some stuff, please email us, insightisfree@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us via Facebook. We have a Facebook page. Hey, QLD. And we will help you guys coordinate and get together with some people on the ground here in northern North Carolina. It's kind of central North Carolina. North Central. Same for hospitals if you get sick. Yeah. Mental hospitals, if you get locked up in a mental thing and like they don't have doctors to do an evaluation over the weekend, also dangerous. Yeah. Jeff, give me a text when I'm done with this, man. I'll talk to you more, or we can call on the phone, give you more. But as far as we know, there is no court date tomorrow. So yeah, I just want to let you know that Jag-Off Chris Freeman is not a friend of the people, an enemy of the people. He's a friend of the state, not the people. He's an enemy of the people. And he is continuing with his campaign against a blind veteran. So we will continue to make sure that people know about it. And we will find a way to get justice. So I'm going to sign off for now. Stay tuned. We'll give you guys updates as they come through. Peace and love. And Deo Crystal Bear.